New study has found a genetic link connected to sexual orientation, but there is no, quote, gay gene. The largest study of its kind was published Thursday in the journal Science. It looked at nearly 500,000 adults in the U.S. and the U.K. and found new evidence that genes could play a role in people's sexuality, but there is no specific gene that makes people gay. Instead, researchers say being gay is influenced by both genetic and environmental factors.
Okay, but why were you even looking for this though? Hey everyone, welcome back to Andy Talks Too Much. And even though I said in my video on my main channel that I was going to do these more often, the hurricane actually made that impossible. Sorry for the fact that on my way home my car died and I got stuck at home and inside and a lot of my stuff was still here. Anyway, for this video, this is the topic. Now, when I first heard about this, I was like, okay, why was somebody trying to find this? Because I feel like the only reason anybody would try to find that is because they want to go after this community. That is the only reason why anybody would try to find it. But I did realize something. That would have that could have a really good or a really bad impact on the community at all. Now, if the gene existed, it would be proof that people being born this way is a legitimate thing, and it has nothing to do with choice, which is true. No, this has nothing to do with choice at all. Anybody can tell you that. The thing about it is, it also opens the door for some other unsavory things. That if we could test somebody prenatal or somebody's parents, that they had the high probability of this gene existing and passing it on, it could potentially cause people to not want to have children, or considering that we have some level of ability with genetic engineering, it could be a possibility of finding this gene and then editing it out. So one of the reasons why this was an issue is because it could lead to, well, extermination of this community. The thing about it is that this study did yield something interesting, because although it didn't find a single gene, it found multiple genes are actually responsible for certain things. According to an article made by postgazette.com, there is no one gene that determines a person's sexual orientation, but genetics, along with environment, play in a shaping sexuality, a massive new study shows. In a study, hundreds of thousands of people's DNA was analyzed and found there are a handful of genes clearly connected with same sexual behavior. Researchers say that although variations in the genes cannot predict whether a person is gay, these variants may partly influence sexual behavior. And again, this ties back into it. It does end up being proof that being born this way is a thing. It means that nobody's choosing. We are who we are, and that's it. And that's the important thing about all of this. Now, will somebody try to isolate the genes responsible and try to rewrite them? Probably. I mean, there are a lot of people out there who really want this community and these group of people to disappear. And I wouldn't hold it past them, because some of these groups are very powerful, and I wouldn't hold it past them in trying to fund this research in a somewhat hypocritical way, because a lot of them are anti-science, to try and find ways to get rid of this gene completely, and then try to find ways of pushing it on everybody. So that even though these genes exist, they're not even a good predictor of somebody's sexual behavior later in life. So there is no way to predict it. It's just something that'll happen. And again, falls under born this way. Even if the environment can have an effect, it's not a clear predictor. So don't let anybody ever tell you you chose to be gay, or you chose to be trans, or you chose to be bi, or you chose to be anything like that in this community, because you didn't. You are who you are because that's who you are. No matter what they say, no matter how many times they try to push a religious agenda of some kind, no matter how many times they try to say, no, you chose to be that way, you chose all of a sudden, even though it's obviously not true, it's obviously not true. Because this somewhat proves that we didn't choose. So with that, I'm going to end this video here, so be sure to check out my other videos, those Prizebox Productions videos, our channels Prizebox Gaming and Prizebox Reacts, and check out my main channel, linked in the description. Thanks for watching, and stay jamming, everyone.